All right, folks, good evening. We are live. It's your host, Jono, over here in New Jersey, bringing you our assortment of football topics sprinkled with a hint of blue cheese. Over in New York City is the good captain. Captain, say hi to the folks.
Hello.
Excellent. We don't have a street correspondent. The COVID's kicking live out there. People are not on the streets, so we'll have a street correspondent this week. We're going to bypass the Carolinas and head down to the great state of Florida to say hi to your truly Reef. Say hi to the folks, mate.
Hello, everybody.
Excellent. Good stuff, gentlemen. This is the one before the Christmas holidays. There's no Christmas break in the Premier League. Most of the divisions and clubs and leagues across Europe are playing and pushing on and carrying through as best as they can. Our thoughts and prayers go out to those in the UK who have now picked up a certain strain onto this coronavirus. We wish you the best. We hope for the best for all of you. And you're in our prayers. A quick roundup of the leagues. The Bundesliga this weekend, Bayern Munich once again went back on top. They were last year's champions and they're this year's champions. In Serie A at this moment, good old Milan is back still on top, undefeated, won 3-2 this afternoon to Lazio. So they're going good and strong. Raise a glass up to them. Keep up the good work. Over in Ligue 1, surprise, surprise, sitting in third place at this present moment is PSG. Like I said, it's just a matter of time before Pochettino gets himself ready as he looks towards the team for the future. That's my 2 cents. Over in La Liga, it's a bit deceiving. Now you're going to see La Liga, yeah, and you're going to see Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid tied on 32 points. However, Atletico Madrid has at least 2 games in hand still to play. So don't be deceived by that. The usual suspects are still there. Villarreal, Real Sociedad is still there, and Barcelona propping up 5th place. But La Liga is where the crunch and bite is. All right, let's go on to the Premier League. Gentlemen, the weekend saw Tottenham lose against Leicester 2-0. A lot of people believe that the bubble has burst. How say you, Reef, to the bubble being burst for Spurs? Or is it's just the way it is at this moment in the Premier League?
I don't think the bubble burst because they win today. So if the bubble bursts, we're going to see a different score. But I don't think the bubble burst. But I'm glad that something happened and something happened to stop them a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy that they went from first straight to 5th. The Premier League is so chopping and changing. You lose one game, like Chelsea lost 2 games and ended up in 8th at one stage by the weekend before they played. How say you shift to the chopping and changing of the top 4 of the Premier League in general?
I mean, it makes for a very exciting league with Everton and Southampton and Leicester. They're all in the mix. But I imagine it'll all even out as the season goes along. The one that surprises me most is Man United. I thought they would be done for. They keep on falling behind and coming back and scoring, and I don't think that's going to last. But what do I know? I thought Ole would be fired by Christmas because of the start that they had. I think Tottenham has had a bunch of bad luck. It happens in a season, but like the last
Tottenham had bad luck. Tottenham, okay, the bad luck I get it with Liverpool, but they had good luck against what's the name? Arsenal. They had good luck against Man City.
I mean, but the way they play, right? You can't have mistakes. So in the Leicester game, I think Mourinho would have been happy with the halftime, and then Aurier gives up the worst penalty I have seen in a long time. That just changes the entire game, and then Ndombele and Lo Celso both get injured within 5 minutes, and then he doesn't have Dele Alli on the midfield.
That's his fault, right?
Yeah, that's his fault. But like, you don't expect both your midfielders to get injured within 5 minutes, and you don't expect your right back to give up the stupidest penalty in the history of man.
Well, he is renowned for that, isn't he, Oreo?
Yeah.
I mean, the injuries. Let's talk about injuries. Before the West Ham game, we were sitting at West Ham was ahead of us, and Chelsea was sitting at 8th. The game kicks off, and Chilwell twists his ankle and he's out. Reece James is already out because of a knee injury. The two attacking, fullbacks, etc., are out. So
now injuries happen. Yes, I'm just saying, like, and then there was that own goal. They're definitely going through a purple patch, but nothing to be. I wouldn't be too worried if I'm them. I think they'll finish in top 4. Liverpool's going to run away with this league. They have the heart of champions, and nobody's catching them.
Reef, how say you?
I don't think Liverpool going to run with it. If you're looking on a table, and that's what it's called, it's only 4 points. 4 points between Liverpool and Leicester right now, 31 and 27. Manchester United right now sitting in third, as we just discussed about it, with 26 points. Everton with 26 points. Chelsea with 25 points. So it's like between like 5th is a Chelsea to number 1 is Liverpool is a 6 point. Everything can change. We saw like Liverpool tie some game, win some game, and the next game they can lose. I'm like,
yes, but the games that they're supposed to lose, they're tying. The games that usually would end up in ties, they're winning. It's somehow every year when the champion is crowned, it's always the team that wins the games they're not supposed to and ties the games they're not supposed to, which is what Liverpool is doing. I thought
Gentlemen, let me throw this at you. We are arriving at the Christmas stage. And at Christmas, they always say who's a champion at Christmas usually is a champion, and who's at the bottom at Christmas 9 out of 10 times or 7 out of 10 times they're relegated. So are we saying at this moment Liverpool have the opportunity to separate themselves from the pack? How say you to that then, Schiff?
I do, because the next 2 games are West Brom and Newcastle, and then Southampton. And in the Christmas break, they got like the easier games out of anyone in the top up there. We are playing Man City in a few days.
We're playing Arsenal and Man City coming up.
Arsenal and Man City. Again, with all the injuries, they're still number 1. They're getting Thiago back. They're going to get everyone but Van Dijk. Yeah, they're going to get everyone but Van Dijk back.
All right.
And they just know how to win.
Reef,
let
me throw this at you then. How say you to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being still here at Christmas time with Man U in 3rd position, with a game in hand, looking prime at this moment? None of us, all 3 of us, never had them in the top 6. I don't even think I had them in the top 10, but none of us had them in the top 6. How say you, Reef?
All right. I tell you, when I'm wrong. I'm absolutely wrong. I'm admitting I'm wrong. I truly thought like Manchester United manager Oliver Solskjaer are going to get fired by now, but he's not. He's still the manager, and I mean, good for them. They're winning and everything is great. That's one thing. Second thing, from the top, I don't think Liverpool's still running with it. Absolutely don't think what she's saying is correct. And in my point of view, I see that the last 5 or 6 places, and I'm included in that, Spurs are sitting with 25 points as Chelsea in the same thing. This mix can change, and we saw, you just look on it. Spurs before the game was in 2nd place, and now they're in 6th. So you cannot tell me that. Now, if we're going to the bottom, I'm extremely disappointed, but I think maybe I'm the only one.
Let's go there. Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but let's go there. Now that Hanukkah is over, the oil has finally.
And the miracle is not happening.
What the deuce? How say you to Nick? I thought Brighton, they were 1-0 up against Brighton when they had 10 men and they were still leading Brighton. Brighton came back and scored to tie it. Brighton almost won it at the end, say from the post and back again. Talk to me.
It's so disappointed for me. I mean, from watching a team that playing so well last season, I I don't remember what place they finished the
9th.
season, but I think what?
9th.
So how you finish from the top 10, and the next season you're like scraping the bottom. Literally, you're scraping the bottom. I mean, like West Brom is above you with 7 points, you with 2. You cannot even hold yourself up. I'm like, it's so disappointed. And a matter of fact, just to say that, the next game for Sheffield United is against Everton. Do you think they're going to be in Everton? I mean, everything can happen, miracle happen, but
Then a miracle can happen. Everton, you better believe in your miracle.
Dude, I want to see them. I thought when they're going to play against Brighton, they're going to win it, and it's going to be some confidence in them. And I'm amazed that they tied that game and they don't win it, but it's kind of like, and then it's West Brom and Fulham. I don't know. With Fulham, I say they have more chance to go out because it's 2 different points between Brighton and Fulham. But the other 2, West Brom and Sheffield United, it's kind of look like they're going to go down.
Schiff, I'm going to give you something, and then I'm going to come back with something that Reef said with something else. But right now, Schiff, let me throw this at you. How say you to Sam, I like my meat pies, Allardyce ability to get West Brom out of the bottom 3?
It's too hard this year. I mean, the thing is, like, he'd have to catch up with Brighton or Burnley, right? Mm-hmm. He's already 5 and 6 points behind, and he's a specialist in this. He's done this many times, but the West Brom team doesn't have a scorer. He usually needs a striker who can help him out.
Yep, he had Jermaine Defoe last time and so forth and all that lot, or Benteke and that.
He can strengthen the defense all he wants, but when West Brom have only scored 10 goals, it's not going to work. They might get a couple of 0-0s, get a couple of 1-0s here. I don't know. I don't see them getting out of it. I actually think Sheffield have a better chance. Sheffield's only 5 points behind them and being playing.
Hang on. Did you say Sheffield United have a chance of getting out?
I think they have a better chance than West Brom because Sheffield are still not. They're passing my eye test. I'm not giving up on them just yet.
You know I wear glasses, right? All right, let me throw something at you. This is what Reef said. Reef, I'm coming back to you. You said when I said to you, you asked me, where did Sheffield United finish last season? I said 9th. You said to me, how could a team that finished so well last season end up at the bottom of where they are now? I say you to Arsenal finishing above them. I think Arsenal finished 8th. Yeah, right. Finish 8th. How say you to Arsenal in relegation trouble? Reef.
15th place. Arsenal in 15th place from 14 games with 8 lost, 2 tie and 4 win. I'm like, they have a big problem. If some people listen to these things and they're going back to the past and take 6 or 7 games from the past, we're talking so highly on Arsenal. And our Arteta doing so well, and who is going to be the best manager? And all of a sudden, it's like someone do a voodoo doll on them and change everything on them. I don't know what to tell you. Something happened to them, and it's not that the red card on left and right. I think now they have 7 players or 6 players with red card. It's like, what the hell? Are you trying every game to throw one game out, one player out? It's so weird that, they cannot kind of calm it down, maintain the game, don't get red card, I don't know. Arsenal completely messed it up. And you say relegation, yeah, they're 3 places away from relegation. So if they're losing, if Chelsea going to beat them this week, they can fall down to relegation if Brighton and Barnsley going to win. Literally.
Schiff, how say you to the thing that you now... Do you feel sorry for Arsenal? And how say you to the fact that the pressure technically is not on Arsenal this weekend, but on Chelsea? Cannot afford to lose against them. Chelsea must beat them If Burnley can do it, Chelsea must do it to Arsenal. How say you to this shift?
I disagree with the fact that the pressure is on Chelsea. Right, we lose the game, we go into like 6th or 7th. Maybe someone will say, "Oh, they lost to a bad team," but that's like us losing to West Ham, right? It happens. But Arsenal.
So you don't believe Chelsea has to win this weekend? Or
no, we have to win every weekend. We're chasing a top 4. We have to win every weekend. But once in a while, if we lose, you're asking me who has more pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's immense pressure on Chelsea, but that's every single weekend. I think the pressure is just boiling at Arsenal. They lose this weekend, it's just absolute travesty.
Okay. Are you saying that Arsenal has to win this weekend? Arsenal expect to win this weekend?
No, they don't expect to win, but the pressure is so high on them that if they don't at least get a draw or a win, they start feeling worse and worse, right? Like they have to get a win at some point.
Okay, Reef, how say you to the same question? Do you believe that Arsenal have to win this week? Do you expect? No, let me change that. Do you expect Arsenal to win this weekend?
No.
You expect Chelsea to win this weekend?
Absolutely, 100%.
So who's the pressure on to win this weekend? Chelsea.
It's not on Chelsea, it's on Arsenal. Absolutely, it's on Arsenal because, you know, to go to play, the playing at home, first thing, Chelsea going to Arsenal, and I think like you're so much under pressure of so many losses that you want to go out of it, and you're now playing a stronger team than the last one that you lost for. So of course the pressure is on Arsenal and on Chelsea. Chelsea just need to put the perform in and win it like they did every game.
Let me throw this at you then.
And just one second.
Okay, go ahead.
Just to listen to this shift. West Ham playing Brighton. If Brighton winning or tie with West Ham and Barnsley playing with, I'm still looking, where's Barnsley? I don't know. But if Barnsley playing Leeds United, if anything they're changing and these two teams winning and Arsenal losing, they're going into relegation.
No, they're not.
Think about it.
All right.
No, they're not in relegation.
Let me just finish before. Listen. No. Let me get him. Reef, you are the one. You're telling me there's no pressure on Chelsea to win. Okay. You are the one that says, William, you wanted, this is the game that you circled for William to come back for Arsenal to show Chelsea why they sold him. How say you to the pressure that Chelsea has to win so that William is not proven right? Go ahead.
I don't think William even going to play that game. He didn't play last game. I don't know how much minutes he's playing for the
William
game.
Plays every game, and I think people are complaining that it may be in his contract because he's bad, really bad.
He's not doing right now very well, but you know what? He's have something that other players don't have. He played Chelsea. He's know the technical things Chelsea doing. He's know how to play, and he's playing the Lampard. So he's have some kind of secret within him. Let's say like that. But I still believe that Chelsea must and in all cost win that game, even if it's taking like 1-0. They have to win that game, no matter what.
All right. Schiff, I'll throw it to you again. One last time. Is the pressure not on Chelsea, A, to win this game because Arsenal are down in the dumps, B, that William is coming back and to haunt them to prove that you weren't worth it and Mourinho was right, here are our players, C, we spent $250 million, $300 million of new talent. How say you to the pressure not being on Chelsea, but rather on Arsenal?
Again, nobody's saying there's no pressure on Chelsea. There's a lot of pressure on Chelsea. There's the Premier League. Both teams have pressure. You're asking the question, who has more pressure? If we lose this game, we are not in deep doo-doo. We can still save our season. We can still go here and there. If Arsenal lose this game, they can be in 18th. I'm going to correct Yariv. They will not be in relegation. They'll be in 17th spot.
Okay, 17. But let's be honest. Is the moment you're talking about 17, 18, 19, 20, it's relegation.
okay,
You're in the
they'll
battle.
they'll be truly in the relegation battle, right? And I don't, that kind of pressure is something else. Again, I'm not denying there's huge pressure on Chelsea. There's huge pressure on Chelsea, but I think there's bigger pressure on Arsenal, especially after getting mauled by Man City yesterday. They have to have some sort of result to have any hope for the season, because the players will keep on losing hope. They have to keep some momentum going, and beating like a Burnley is not going to get that. Beating a Chelsea might get them
all right
momentum.
Okay, shit. Reef, let me throw this at you then. How do you fix Arsenal?
You mean the lineup for Arsenal?
How do you fix it? How do you fix Arsenal FC?
Oh,
man?
how you fix the problem? Oh God. Honestly, that's you know, is a problem. I don't know. Is a problem? Something is going on in the team that cause all of this madness. I don't know. Maybe something with the manager, something with the players, some stress, some uncomfort. Is more mentally, I believe, than anything else. So, is the mental part on the field. So, I don't know. Maybe the players fighting between themselves. You know, you don't know what's going on, but something causing mentally for a breakdown.
All right, Shift. Let me throw this to you. If it is the players, let me throw this to you. How on God's green earth in the Premier League does a player like Rob Holding come captain of Arsenal FC? Rob Holding, who can't even make the England squad, let alone a captain. Rob Holding wouldn't even be captain in Burnley, let alone captain in Crystal Palace, but he's captain of Arsenal FC. So what does that tell you about what's going on with Arteta? His mindset of those senior players like David Luiz, like William, like Aubameyang, what is going on that his trust cannot give them? Also, he can't give them the armband, but he'll give the armband of a club as historic as Arsenal to a Rob Holding.
I don't know what's going on there, but a part of the problem also is recruitment, right? Like the fact that Rob Holding is one of the first names on the team sheet is problematic, right? And I guess he wants to give the captaincy to an Englishman. No. I don't know. I have no thought to. But who else will he give the captaincy to?
Like, why is David Luiz not captain? Go ahead, Reef. Why is David Luiz not captain?
So 1 second. From the squad that I'm looking on for that game versus Everton is Rob Holding as a British, Saka is a British, English, and Niles as an English, number 15. And the last one is English, is Eddie, number 30th. So this is all the English players that play, but
Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah.
But he's young.
And I mean, like, this is all the English. I mean, like, it's very hard for me to believe from the squad that play that is going to give it to Pep or for William. So, I mean, he can give it to Danny Carlos, you know. I mean, like, or for David Luiz, as you say already, but he's, for some reason, take it away from him.
So, what is going on in the Arsenal that at this stage? Okay, let me throw this question a different way. I'm going to ask both of you in turn. First, I'm going to go to Shift and ask him. Does the Arsenal have to realize that they're no longer a big club? Is Arsenal a big club anymore?
I mean, again, what is a big? If you look at their revenues, the fan base, and they have in Asia and America, they are a big club. They have one of the biggest fan followings in the world, right? Therefore, they are a big club. I don't know how. I mean, Leicester won the Premier League 5 years ago, but they're still not considered a big club. It's not about winning; it's about your fan following, and they have a huge fan following, and they have a huge revenue stream.
Okay,
but they're a big club.
Let me throw it to Reef then. Should Arsenal think, especially the supporters, think of themselves as a big club? That's the other way.
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. They're scraping the bottom. They're near the bottom. Come on. They're near the bottom. And if something is not going to be changed for the next game, they're going to be scraping the almost, as Chiefs say, almost near relegation. I mean, the next two games that they have after Chelsea, they have a chances to grab some points because I think they have Brighton and West Brom. But you know, right now they're in trouble, and I don't understand the point that you already bring up with the armband as a captain, as give it to a player that is not experienced. Is something is going crazy, and it's not just from the point of the player as a mentally, even is the point from the manager. The manager did not trust David Luiz. This is why he's giving the bench for another player.
Right.
So basically the storm is starting from the top as the manager and is going down to the player. So it's very hard to correct it because the manager is supposed to be, I'm the leader, I'm correcting the problem and everybody follow me. I carry the team. And it's not look like he's carrying them.
Okay, with that being said, Schiff, with the January market opening in less than 2 weeks' time, how say you to Arteta remaining manager of Arsenal?
I think he will, because I've been reading the higher-ups are not happy with this performance, but they don't see anyone out there. They see the club as needs a direction, and they think Arteta is providing a direction. I don't know what that direction is, but at the same time, they just fired a manager last year. Arteta did get them a FA Cup, so I think they'll just ride it out this year and give him one more year.
Reef, let me throw this at you. Were we deceived by the FA Cup of what Arsenal really is?
I'm sorry, can you ask your question again?
Yeah, so I'm saying that the FA Cup was a mirage. It was a fake. Arsenal are not who they really thought that they are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's really weird what's going on right now. And what we saw in the beginning of the season and what we saw now is completely two different view. It's almost one half of a game and another half of the game. And literally you can split it down the middle, because like if you're going backwards for about 6 or 7 weeks ago and you look on it, we're talking highly on Arteta.
Yes, you're
right.
As
a team, as Arsenal, how good they're doing, how well they're doing. And we're now looking on them and they're scrapping the bottom. It's like completely two different halves.
All right, let me throw this at you then, Schiff. Is Arteta a puppet for the management and the higher up? The fact that he's not going to ruffle feathers and ruffle boats, because most of the recruits that are there are basically those who are not really brought by him. Even William, the deal that was arranged for William was not even done at the Arsenal house where all the deals were. They were actually done, it was done and signed at William's house. So William has a 3-year contract paying him almost as much as Mesut Ozil for the next 3 years. Do you think Arteta has no power, no say, and is a puppet? How say you to that shift?
I mean, we saw this with Mourinho at United. Maybe the managers don't have as much power as they used to, right? In the say of the transfers, etc., in most clubs. So he probably is just not a puppet, but you have one job: train the team, pick the team. The rest we will do, right? The managers just with the whole Edu, that's the director of football at Arsenal, right?
Yep.
You know, with the whole director of football, etc., maybe they think of it more for a team effort. And I won't call him a puppet, but he doesn't have as much power. Although I will call him a muppet based on every interview he gives after losing, where he's like, the match makes sense. I don't understand how we are losing. The Tottenham game, we win 90% of the time. I don't know what that is.
How say you, Reef, to Arteta the Muppet being there by the end of this season?
As we're talking right now, and that's why I'm being so careful, because I said something about Man United and I've been very wrong. As we're talking right now, as we're looking at just before Christmas, I don't believe so. only if he scrape himself from the bottom and I don't know, a magic things happen and he's winning like 4 or 5 games and scrape himself from the bottom all the way to 6 or 7 place, maybe he will remain there. But at the moment where he's standing, I don't see him staying up there to the end of the year.
Reef, Schiff, bless you. Now tell me, who do you believe is good enough, is good, should replace Arteta with this current squad and current people?
I mean, the one name that comes to mind is the coach for Villarreal, who's gone 19 games without a loss.
Who, Emery?
Unai Emery.
Bring him back.
I don't know, like who would want this job?
I have someone, but I'll
All
give
right.
you the option. Go ahead.
Like the guy who got relic, Eddie Howe.
Good choice.
Maybe
but no,
he'd be a good shot.
that's not my choice, but he's a good choice. Yep. Reef.
I really don't know. I don't know who want to get the job. You know,
As a diehard Chelsea,
you know when you
say Arteta.
If you look on that, if you look on for a second, if you look on West Brom, yes, and West Brom is lower than Arsenal. Look who's come and scrape the bottom and say like, I will take this team and Sam Allardyce, and he's known for that, like coming, take team from the bottom, trying to rise them up. So, but it's not West Brom is no Arsenal, it's no same powerful and name club and what you represented. It's completely 2 different things. So I don't know who is available and willing to take the Arsenal from the bottom and bring them up to top.
Gentlemen, I have someone. I've consulted a few people, got their ideas and listened to them and all that lot, and I think they're right on this. The actual person who will help, first of all, build them a strong defense and get Aubameyang scoring again, it's Rafa Benitez. It's Rafa Benitez.
I mean, that's Arsenal, a good start.
Yep. Arsenal are not, the fans need to silence themselves and realize they're not a club who get top managers of any, they're not a top club right now. They may have fans around the world, but right now in the Premier League, they're not a top club. They need someone to give them a strong foundation and get that midfield kicking, get results going. And the man to do that with experience and the resume is Rafa Benitez. Both European resume and has contacts around the place. The problem is that with Rafa Benitez, he's not a yes man. And we found out in Newcastle. After he got them doing, and he wanted them to spend money and get his players going, and they said no, he got up and walked, finished his 3 years. But he kept them in the Premier League all those 3 seasons. Rafa Benitez is the man who work with them defensively, get them back going again, has the respect of the senior players, because you can see right now that those senior players, Aubameyang, Lacazette, David Luiz, William, don't respect Arteta. The young folk do, because they're impressionable and they all want to be the new Pep Guardiola. Maybe they may be able to get to Man City and play their style. But I think the senior players are looking at him at a side-eyed and saying, you know what, you don't have what is going. Hence, that's why the armband has gone to the likes of Rob Holding. He has lost that locker room or the respect of the locker room. People like William, who are going to Dubai and that, do not fear him. William will not do that nonsense in Chelsea, because not just because of Frank, but because the powers higher up than Frank will tell them what to do, when to go, and when to do it. But right now, Arteta doesn't have that. He doesn't have that authority or that gravitas. Go ahead, Reef.
I don't think he's have the locker room, because if you look on the last game, he played against Everton, and you know Everton doing quite well this season. I say quite well. Mm-hmm. They're not doing the best ever, but quite well. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of interesting that he put Eddie, the British guy, instead of Lacazette to open up. I don't get it. Why you put Lacazette on the bench? You know, he's like one of your main strikers, especially when what is his name? The other guy, the French guy,
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang is injured. Why is Lacazette on the bench and he's coming on the 76 minutes? I don't get it. He's your number 2 striker. if we're looking at it like that, and you put him on a bench for 76 minutes, this is meaning he's have some conflict with the player. And he's kind of trying to discipline the player. And by you disciplining the player, I think you're losing the player.
Yep.
I think this is what's going on there right now.
Schiff, how say you to my Rafa Benitez situation?
I mean, I think it's a really, really good shout. I think he would do it. I mean, he would get them into shape. He's a good coach. He's well respected. He might be able to recruit some new people. You know, some of his old people. Yeah, I like that shout.
All right. I think we have a free agreement to bring back the fat Spanish waiter. All right. Excellent. Good stuff. Gentlemen, this is a short one. It's our Christmas one. People have things to do on Christmas Day and so forth. So what we're going to do is take a few messages for the holiday season to say a shout out to anyone. So if anybody wants anything to say for the next 3 to 5 minutes before we say goodbye, it's all up to you. Schiff?
Just hopefully 2021 is better than 2020. Have a great Christmas season, everybody, and stay safe.
All right. Reef?
How about let's close the year, or not close the year, close the Christmas or after Christmas with the win. And what a sweet win is going to be if Chelsea going to beat Arsenal in Arsenal.
Okay.
And continue dropping them down. And Shiv, just to let you know, I'm not feeling sorry a bit. Because when Chelsea was in trouble, I remember how some people rubbed it in my face. So this time I'm not feeling any bad for them whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going for a win this weekend and so forth. I want them to I need them. I want Chelsea to win and to win well to prove my point regarding that. Marina is the gambler. You know how I feel about her and so forth. And to prove the point regarding William, it was time to go. Just as how Hazard, it was time to go. This is Chelsea FC. I see we've got problems with our fullbacks, but I'm thinking about it. You see, the problem with the fullbacks, these ones that we have, are not attacking fullbacks. And that's why we let West Ham was right after we scored early. West Ham was right in the game all the way till we got those two lucky goals, because the Dave and Emerson have a habit of staying back. So we had a 4, but what we really need is more penetration. The second thing that we don't need know Jorginho. We don't need him in midfield. We don't. I've said it once, I said it twice, I'll say it 3 times. How say you today? I know this was meant to be an ending statement and so forth, and I've gone over a bit, but hey, Schiff, how say you to this for the last thing?
I totally agree with you. Jorginho needs to be sold. Maybe Inter will take him. I don't know where he goes.
Anywhere
will go. And I agree, like Chilwell and Reece bring more forward momentum than Emerson and Dave. And hopefully, we have a tough schedule in the next.
We have a tough schedule, but how say you to the score? Chelsea versus Arsenal. Give us a score, mate, before we go for the folks.
2-0 Chelsea.
Nice. How say you, Reef, to a score?
I said 3-0 Chelsea.
All right. I concur with what's the name, all of you, and I say 3-0 Chelsea all the way. Gentlemen, I bid you adieu, and I will see you on our New Year's special next week for the new year, ushering 2021. Okay, take care, folks. Bye for now.
Bye.